Feng Sanniang. The story goes, there was a girl named Fan Niang. She was the daughter of the city's sacrificial wine official, young, beautiful, and talented. Her parents doted on her dearly. Whenever someone came to propose marriage, it was always her choice to make. However, Fan Niang never found anyone she was truly interested in. During the Lantern Festival, the nuns at the Water Moon Monastery held the Alambana Festival. On this day, there were many young women present, and Fan Niang was among them. While she was enjoying the festivities, a woman kept following her, eyeing her closely as if she had something important to say. Fan Niang carefully observed her and saw a stunning girl of about 15 or 16 years old. Fan Niang took a liking to her and turned to face her, staring intently. The girl smiled and said, "Could you be Fan Niang?" Fan Niang replied, "Yes." The girl continued, "I've heard that you're a talented and beautiful woman." People's words indeed hold true. Fan Niang then inquired about the girl's name and residence. The girl smiled and said, "My surname is Feng, and I'm the third daughter. I live in a nearby village." Saying this, she linked her arm with Fan Niang's. She spoke and smiled, her words and demeanor gentle and sweet. The two of them took a liking to each other, feeling attached and unwilling to part. Fan Niang asked, "Why are you here alone?" Feng Sanniang replied, "My parents passed away a long time ago. There's only an elderly nanny left at home, looking after the house. So, I couldn't come with anyone." When Fan Niang was about to leave, Feng Sanniang stared at her, tears almost falling. Fan Niang was also sad, so she invited Feng Sanniang to her house to play. Feng Sanniang hesitated, saying, "You come from a wealthy family, and I have no connections with you. I'm afraid it will invite gossip." Fan Niang insisted, and only then did Feng Sanniang say, "Let's do it another day." Fan Niang took off a golden hairpin and gave it to her as a gift. Feng Sanniang also took off a green hairpin from her hairdo and returned it as a gift. After returning home, Fan Niang missed Feng Sanniang a lot and took out the green hairpin she had received. It wasn't made of gold or jade, and no one in the family recognized it. She found it quite peculiar. Fan Niang hoped to see Feng Sanniang every day, but she was always disappointed and fell ill. Her parents learned the reason for her illness and sent people to the nearby village to inquire, but nobody knew about Feng Sanniang. By the time the Double Ninth Festival in September arrived, Fan Niang had become pale and haggard from her illness. Feeling bored, she had her maidservant help her to the garden. There, she lay on a mat under an eastern fence to enjoy the chrysanthemums. Suddenly, she spotted a woman peering over the wall. Upon closer examination, it turned out to be Feng Sanniang. Feng Sanniang called out, "Come help me, please." The maidservant hurried over to assist her down. Fan Niang was both surprised and delighted. She stood up, pulled Feng Sanniang to sit beside her on the mat, and scolded her for not keeping her promise. She asked where Feng Sanniang had come from. Feng Sanniang replied, "My home is quite far from here, but I often visit my uncle's house nearby." I had said I lived in a neighboring village before, but I was referring to my uncle's house. After we separated, I missed you terribly. However, mingling with people of higher status when you're poor and humble, even before setting foot inside their home, can be embarrassing. I was afraid that servants and maidservants would look down upon me, so I didn't come. Just now, as I passed by outside the wall and heard female voices, I climbed up to take a look, hoping it might be you. And indeed, it was. Fan Niang recounted the story of her illness due to missing Feng Sanniang. Feng Sanniang shed tears like rain and said emotionally, "I've come this time, but you must promise to keep it a secret. Otherwise, gossip mongers will spread rumors, and I won't be able to endure it." Fan Niang agreed. They both returned to her chamber, ate and lived together, and shared their innermost thoughts. Fan Niang's health quickly improved. The two girls became sworn sisters, exchanging clothes and shoes, always dressed in matching outfits. Whenever someone came, Feng Sanniang would hide behind a curtain. After 5 or 6 months, the maidservant went to the East Village for some errands. On her way back in the evening, She saw Feng Sanniang walking with an elderly woman. The maidservant was elated and greeted them. Feng Sanniang seemed melancholic, asking about Fan 11 situation. The maidservant held onto Feng Sanniang's sleeve and said, "Please come to our home. My aunt is longing for you like she's dying." Feng Sanniang replied, "I miss her too, but I don't want her family to know. After you return, just open the garden gate, and I'll go there myself." The maidservant conveyed this to Fan 11, who was overjoyed and followed Feng Sanniang's instructions. She found Feng Sanniang in the garden as she had said. The two met, shared stories of their separation, and as they talked more, they lost track of time and didn't sleep. When the maidservants had all fallen asleep, Feng Sanniang got up, and she and Fan 11 lay on the same pillow, whispering softly. Feng Sanniang said, "I know you haven't been engaged yet. With your talents, beauty, and family background, you won't have trouble finding a distinguished son-in-law. But those playboys are not worth considering. If you want a good husband, don't judge based on wealth or poverty." Fan 11 agreed wholeheartedly. Feng Sanniang continued, "Last year, the place where we met has become a place of spiritual cultivation. Tomorrow, please come there again. I want you to meet a suitable husband. I studied physiognomy in my childhood, and I assure you, I won't be wrong." As the sky grew brighter, Feng Sanniang left, arranging to meet at the temple. True to her word, Fan 11 went to the Water Moon Monastery, where Feng Sanniang had arrived earlier. After enjoying the scenery for a week, Fan 11 invited Feng Sanniang to join her on a carriage ride. Hand in hand, they left the monastery gate and saw a scholar of about 17 or 18 years old. He wore simple clothing, but his appearance was handsome and his demeanor extraordinary. Feng Sanniang discreetly pointed at the scholar and said to Fan 11, "This person has the potential to become a court official." Fan 11 cast a sidelong glance. Feng Sanniang continued, "You go back first, and I'll join you later." Sure enough, as dusk fell, Feng Sanniang arrived, saying, "I've just found out that the scholar is a local here, named Meng Anren." Knowing that Meng Anren's family was poor, Fan 11 felt he might not be the best match. Feng Sanniang exclaimed, "Why are you falling into conventional thinking? If this person is to remain poor, I will gouge my own eyes out and never read faces again." Fan 11 asked, "What should I do then?" Feng Sanniang said, "Please give me an item to take to him. This can be considered an engagement token." Fan 11 said, "Sister, you're being too hasty. What if my parents object?" Feng Sanniang said, "I'm doing this because I fear they'll object. If you're determined, even death won't stop it." Fan 11 firmly refused. Feng Sanniang said, "Your fate has arrived, but the obstacles remain. That's why I'm doing this, to repay you for your past kindness. I'll go now and give the golden phoenix hairpin you gave me to him, pretending to be from you." Fan 11 was about to discuss it further, but Feng Sanniang had already left. At that time, although Meng Sheng was knowledgeable and talented, he remained unmarried at 18 due to his poor family background. During the day at the monastery, he suddenly saw two beautiful women and had been thinking of them relentlessly since returning home. As the first watch of the night began, Feng Sanniang called at the door. Meng Sheng lit a candle and recognized her as one of the women he had seen during the day at the monastery. He asked her excitedly who she was. Sanniang said, "My surname is Feng, and I am Fan 11's companion." Meng Sheng was overjoyed, too elated to ask further questions. He immediately stepped forward and embraced her. Feng Sanniang pushed him away, saying, "I'm not here to self-recommend like Mao Sui. I've come as a matchmaker. Fan 11 is willing to become your wife. Please have a matchmaker go to propose on her behalf." Meng Sheng was shocked and incredulous. Feng Sanniang took out a golden hairpin to show him. Meng Sheng was extremely pleased and vowed, "Since she cherishes me so, if I cannot marry 11 I would rather remain unmarried for life." Feng Sanniang then left. The next morning, Meng Sheng asked an elderly neighbor to visit Fan 11's mother and propose on his behalf. Fan's mother disliked his poverty and didn't consult her daughter, immediately dismissing the elderly woman. When 11 learned of this, She was deeply disappointed and blamed Feng Sanniang for her delay. However, unable to retrieve the golden hairpin, she made up her mind not to marry anyone else. A few days later, a gentleman came to propose marriage for his son to the Fan family, fearing refusal. They even sought the county magistrate's help. The gentleman was influential, which frightened the Fan family. They asked Liaozhai for her opinion. She declined, and when her mother asked why, she remained silent, only shedding tears. She secretly informed her mother that if it wasn't Mengsheng, she would never marry. Fan's father, upon learning this, grew furious and decided to betroth his daughter to the gentleman's son. He also suspected a romantic connection between Liaozhai and Mengsheng. He scheduled the wedding on an auspicious day, hoping to have it done quickly. Liaozhai was so angered that she lost her appetite and spent her days lying listlessly. On the night before the wedding, she suddenly got up, dressed herself, and prepared in front of a mirror. Fan's mother secretly rejoiced. A while later, a maid came running to say, "Miss hanged herself." The whole family was shocked, weeping bitterly in regret. 3 days later, they had to bury her. After the neighbor's elderly woman told Mengsheng that the marriage proposal had failed, he felt anguished and furious. Despite his despair, he still inquired subtly for news, hoping to salvage his relationship with Liaozhai. When he heard of her death, his sorrow and anger knew no bounds. He wished he could die alongside her. In the evening, he walked out of his house, intending to visit Liaozhai's grave and weep in the darkness. Suddenly, someone approached him, and on closer inspection, it was Feng Sanniang. Sanniang said to Mengsheng, "Congratulations, your destined marriage has finally come true." Mengsheng, tears in his eyes, said, "Don't you know that Liaozhai has already passed away?" Feng Sanniang replied, "It's precisely because she has passed away that I can make this marriage possible. You must quickly have your family dig up the grave. I have a strange medicine that can resurrect her." Upon hearing her words, Mengsheng dug up the grave, opened the coffin, lifted Liaozhai out, and then reburied the grave, carrying Liaozhai's body on his back. He returned home with Feng Sanniang, placed Liaozhai on the bed, and watched as Sanniang administered the medicine. After a while, Liaozhai slowly woke up, looking at Feng Sanniang and asking, "Where am I?" Feng Sanniang pointed to Mengsheng and said, "This is Meng Anren." She then explained the situation to Liaozhai, who was in a daze. Fearing the news would leak, Feng Sanniang accompanied them to a remote village 50 miles away to hide. Feng Sanniang bid farewell and left. Liaozhai pleaded with her to stay, offering her lodging in another courtyard. They sold funerary jewelry for sustenance, and their days passed relatively well. Whenever Mengsheng visited, Feng Sanniang always avoided him. Liaozhai calmly said, "Our sisterly bond is stronger than that of blood siblings. But how can we stay together for 100 years? I suggest we follow the example of the women who married the Yellow Emperor and Xiao Hao. Let's both marry Mengsheng." Feng Sanniang said, "I learned a secret method of longevity from a young age, so I am unwilling to marry." Liaozhai smiled and said, "There are many health-preserving techniques circulating in the world. How many of them are truly effective?" Feng Sanniang replied, "What I've obtained is not something from the mundane world. The methods passed down in the world are not genuine except for Huata's 5 animal frolics, which is somewhat close. All those who practice are essentially seeking better blood circulation. If someone experiences a life-threatening condition, by mimicking a tiger's movements, they will recover immediately. Isn't that where its efficacy lies?" Privately, Liaozhai discussed with Mengsheng and persuaded him to pretend he was going on a long journey. At night, after Feng Sanniang was intoxicated, Mengsheng sneaked in and shared a bed with her. When Sanniang woke up, she said, "Sister, you've caused trouble for me. If I don't break my vow of celibacy and attain success in Tao cultivation, I can ascend to the first heaven. But now, being tricked by you, it seems this is my predestined fate." She then got up and bid her farewell. Liaozhai told her her sincere feelings and pleaded with her not to blame her. Feng Sanniang said, "I'll be honest with you. I'm a fox spirit. Because I saw your beauty, I suddenly felt admiration. But today, I've woven my own trap. This is a karmic ordeal of emotions, not created by human will. If I stay longer, the emotional turmoil will only intensify, without end. Sister, you are blessed and have a bright future ahead. Please take good care of yourself. With that, she disappeared. The couple remained astonished for a long time. After a year, Meng Shang had indeed passed both the local examination and the provincial examination, and he became an official in the Hanlin Academy. He took his own name card and went to pay a visit to Fan 11's father. Fan's father was both ashamed and regretful, and he refused to see him. After repeated requests from Meng Shang, he finally agreed to meet. Meng Shang entered with the manners of his son-in-law, bowing respectfully. Fan's father was very annoyed and suspected that Meng Shang intended to mock and insult him. Meng Shang then asked him to a private place and explained the whole story. Fan's father still found it hard to believe, so he sent someone to investigate at Meng Shang's home. Only after confirming the truth did he feel greatly relieved. He also warned Meng Shang not to spread the matter, fearing potential trouble. 2 more years passed, and the gentleman who had sought Fan 11's hand in marriage was found guilty of bribery, and both he and his son were sent to serve in the Liaozhai garrison. Only then did Fan 11 return to her parents' home.
Alright, this story has come to an end. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Thank you.